Good. Welcome back to another video. This is Teresa doing another origami session. Today we're doing the tiger, this little guy here. Again, you're going to need 2 pieces of paper. It doesn't have to be the same color. Pair of scissors, and if you'd like to draw a face on it, you can use a marker. Otherwise, you can get some super small googly eyes and glue them on there if you want. So that's today's lesson, and then next week I've got a little flower here. It's called Paul's flower. Super quick little cute little guy here. That's going to be Monday, and then on Wednesday I've got this fun little flower, star shaped, and then I've also got on Friday we're going to do chopstick holders. So this cute little guy here. It's always fun to put the chopsticks in if you're setting up a table for company to come over. Alright, so the scissors and the pen can go away till the end, and if you want these to stay together, glue, which I forgot to grab, so let me grab that right now. So a little bit of glue. It's much easier to glue these 2 pieces. There's not really any way to stick them together otherwise. You can use tape if you don't have glue, for sure. So we're going to set one piece of paper aside because we don't need both of them on the table at once. So the first thing we're going to do is choose the color if you're using double-sided. And since I'm doing a tiger, I'm going to go with brown on the back. So the color I want down and the color I don't want is going to come up. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to fold it into a triangle. So the first thing we're going to do, fold into a nice big triangle and making sure our corners match up. Nice tight creases. And then we're going to fold it into another triangle, nice small triangle here. And then we're going to open this up and we're going to make this triangle into a square. It's like a magic trick here. So we're going to do that and down. Again, always making sure our corners all line up. Don't want this one popping out. So we're going to hold everything together before we do anything. And then nice tight creases just like normal. And then we're going to flip it over. And I'm going to do the same thing, but I want to make this so that it stands up on its own. So I'm going to make this fold here. So I'm going to take this on the back and nice and carefully, just ever so gently, pull it to the opposite side. And press down. So it should be able to stand on its own. And then we're going to put our finger in there, make a nice tight square. Voila. Alright, so once we've got that, we're going to do open end. We're going to put this triangle right down along the center, pointing towards the open end. And same on the other side. And then flip it over. Same thing on the other side. So we're going to do all 4 of those. And anyone who's followed along with any of the other videos should recognize this from the crane, among many other designs. And what we're going to do is we're going to fold along here, right to the top. Just make a little crease there, and then you can let it go back. Because we're going to open these flaps, and we're going to make a nice, big, wide open. And we're going to, we're going to hold it tighter than that, apparently. We're going to open this all the way up, and we're going to hold the bottom here, and fold it down, fold it down. We're going to hold that, and we're going to follow these creases that we made earlier all the way open. And go nice and gentle. Don't want to rip it. And it should lay nice and flat. Same thing to the other side. Open up on both sides. Nice, big open. And I'm just going to back fold this. And again on this side. And you should have nice flat, just like that. And again, always making sure your creases are nice and tight. Alright, so once we've got this little guy, you should have 2 little feet and 2 little flaps at the top. Make sure your feet are flat and pointing down towards yourself. And what we're going to do is we're going to fold this out like this. And just so you can see the crease, I don't want to go past this center line, so just up to there. And then we're going to do the same thing to the other side. So it looks kind of funny, right? So once we've got that, we're going to undo, and we're actually going to bring them inside. So what we're going to do is we're going to unfold this, gently bring this up, and just... So all I'm doing is holding the center here and letting these open, and then pulling this inside, right into there. So you should see just like this, right? And all I'm doing is folding it back into itself, and we already made a line, so it should just crease like that. So we're gonna, same thing, so we already have a nice tight crease, and open, and always holding this so it doesn't undo. And again, just take this piece, pull it up, and fold it into itself, and nice tight creases. So you should have like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to fold it in half. So it looks like this. So it looks kind of funny. You got 2 little legs and you got 2 flaps on top, but that's okay because we're going to actually do something with that in a minute. So once you've got it with your feet pointing down, this is going to be your head. So if you're right-handed, it's going to go the right hand, but I'm left-handed, so it's going to go this direction. And what we're going to do is we're going to make another crease. But I only want to make the crease. I don't want to fold it too much, and we can do it both ways if you want to make it even tighter. So what we're going to do is we're going to go from here across about a finger width, and it'll be on an angle. So once I show you, it's much easier. And there's a lot of material to fold, so if it doesn't want to fold because it's really thick, don't worry about it, just go to there. So if I undo it just a little bit, you can see how many layers there are, and all I did was fold till this really thick piece. I don't want to force the fold, and that'll just make the angle that my neck is going to be at. Right? If I have to, it would go really hard, so we're just going to go where it wants to go. Don't force it to fold. And we're going to unfold it, and we're going to go the other direction. So it'll be a nice, really, really, really tight crease. And once we've done that, we're going to open it up just a little bit, hold the back, and reverse this so it kind of points up like that. And we've already got a crease here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this, and I'm going to fold this nice tight. So you kind of have this on one side, and it looks funny on the other side, but we're going to follow that crease we just made all the way back up. And then we're going to fold this into itself. Just like that. So it's into itself, right? So it's reverse folding, as they call it. So once you have this, what we're going to do is we're going to take the whole piece that we just did, and we're going to bring all of that front down. So we're not going to go past this big fat piece here, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take this tip here, and we're going to match it up with this tip, so it's on an angle. And then we're going to push it down. So all I'm doing is undoing this, letting go of this piece, and I'm following that angle. I don't want to go down like this, because that would look different, right? So I don't want to go down flat like this. You're going to end up with a little bit flap, and that's okay, because you want to go this tip to this tip. Just like that. Sorry, I'll sneeze there. Alright, so once you've got these two, we're going to fold and make his face, because you see on here he's got a kind of a flat face, right? You don't want that big pointy nose. So we're going to take this and we're going to fold it underneath and tuck it in just a little bit. Doesn't have to be very much. So I only took a little bit. You see that? So it's not even quite a finger. And I just tucked it underneath. And that makes a nice flat face. And once we've got that, we can take our scissors and we're only going to cut the top. So there's 2 layers, but we only want to cut the top. So I'm going to draw the line just so you can kind of see where we're going to go. So what we're doing is actually creating little ears. So if you see on here, I'm just going to cut just a little bit, right? Bigger ears makes the face a little different shaped, so you don't want to go too big. And again, I only want the top layer, little tiny bit there, just like that. And again on the other side, top layer only, and voila. And that's the only thing we do with the scissors, so you can put those aside if you want. You don't need them anymore. And then we just kind of point those up, and there you go, you got 2 cute little ears. Alright, so it's kind of starting looking like one, but it doesn't have legs properly. So what we're going to do is we're going to make those legs. Easy, but what we're going to do here, and we're going to fold it inside of itself, and then we're going to unfold all the way back like this. So I'm going to try and get this to focus a bit better here. So I'm holding this really tight, and I'm pulling this in, and I'm folding it up inside of itself. And then I'm not pressing the crease yet, but what I'm doing is, you see where it's kind of half folded in back the other direction. Once you have that, you can make however much of an angle you want and push it down so you have your foot. And then we're going to do the same thing to the other side. And this is the worst part about this design, because you have to kind of just play with it till you get it done. So again, foot, hold nice and tight, bring that in a little bit, and then gently pull the other piece back. Try and match them up so they're pretty even. And all I'm doing is just kind of pulling them, pushing them around a little bit. And then once I got them kind of even, then I can match it up and just squish nice and tight. So then you've got your little front paws. And then this is all done. So if you want to draw a face on it, you can draw the face on it now. But I'm going to do it at the end, once everything is done and built and glued together. And then we're going to do the second half. So, got my second piece of paper here. And they're almost identical. So we're going to fold again. So I want my brown facing down, and I'm going to fold it in half into a triangle. Again, making sure my corners match up. Nice tight creases. And then we're going to fold it in half to a small triangle. And again, nice tight creases. And we're going to unfold and fold it into a square. We're going to take this one, we're going to point it down all the way, make sure they all match up nice. And then put our crease. Just like that. So once we got our first one, we're going to flip it over. Do the same thing we did, so put it down and gently fold it over so that it goes the other direction. Nice like that. So it should be able to stand up on its own. And then again, open up here. And down into the middle there. Into a square. So once we've got that, we're going to do pointy direction is going to be to the open end. So we're going to fold into the center. Again, open end. And same thing to the other side. Just like that. And then fold over, do the same to the other two. And then I'm going to fold this down and make a crease. Once I got the crease, I can let go. And we're going to open these two pieces and pull it open. Same thing all the way here. Other side. And nice tight creases. Same thing to the other side. Open, open. And nice big wide open. And just like that, we've got there you go. So you should have two nice little triangle rhombuses, I guess, if you'd like to call it that. So now that I've got my nice tight creases, and I've got my two little feet, we're going to do the same thing we did to the last one, because we need to make feet again. So we're going to do this side, not passing the center line. We're going to fold it up and over, and same thing to the other side. So you've got this, and then we're going to do that same thing we did earlier where we tuck it inside. So we're going to unfold it, open gently, holding that really carefully, and then pull it up all the way in, and voila. So don't pull too far up this way, just follow the crease you already made with this one. And then same thing on the other side. So we're going to take this piece, and we're going to pull this up, and it'll want to go all the way up here. Don't let it go there. You get to control the piece of paper, and never let go of the whole unit at once, because it'll just want to unfold. And there you go. Now you got your two little feet. And what we're going to do from here is we're going to take this piece and we're going to fold it all the way down. But not all the way like this. We want just a little bit above. So all I'm doing is maybe half of a baby finger, and we're going to fold it down just like that. So I don't want to go all the way down there. I want that little bit of a flap here, and this one's going to stay straight. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to gently fold it kind of over. And this gets tricky, so I'm going to just do the first one for show. And all I'm doing is very carefully folding towards the point on an angle, and then this will want to fold over into a triangle, and we want to let it, so just like that. So again, I'm going to show you on this side, and you can go wider if you really want to. Ideally you want to go all the way into the center, but if it doesn't want to cooperate, don't force the paper. So with this, it's going to want to go a little bit farther. So let's do that. So I'm just gently going across like that. So again, all I'm doing is folding on an angle and a little bit at a time, because you can't really fold this whole piece like we normally do. So I'm just holding it gently and I'm folding it a little bit at a time until I get to the top here, and then it doesn't want to unfold, so you just kind of gently fold it yourself. So you kind of have to just work the paper, and this is one of the worst parts about this. So if you can manage this part, the rest is pretty easy. So all that's doing is making a nice narrow foot. And once you've got that, we're going to take this piece here and we're going to fold it all the way down so that it matches with the tip. So I'm going to match this to that tip right there. Right? And then we're going to fold the whole thing in half so that everything we just folded is on the inside. So now You see that nice thin tail, right? Otherwise it would be really fat. It'd be like this piece, right? So we want a nice thin tail. So that's why we did that last piece. And once we've got this, if you want, you can angle your tail a little bit, but I don't recommend playing with the tail angle too much. But if you want to, you can. You can angle it a little bit in, but it gets kind of finicky. So what we're going to do is we're going to make feet, and then we're going to glue the two together. So once you have this, we're going to do the same thing we did earlier. We're going to take this one, we're going to open it, and we're going to very, very, very carefully not let go of anything else. We're going to unfold and then fold it back the other direction. So this is the most finicky piece to do, but once you've got it down, it gets pretty easy. So all I did was make kind of like a W, and I'll show you again on the other side. So I'm holding everything but what I want unfolded, and that way nothing comes unfolded that shouldn't come unfolded. And again, I'm just kind of deciding whereabouts I want to pull in, and then I'm reversing that fold. So you see kind of like an accordion. And then push it all together, match them up. So this one's a little bit too far, let's make it a little bit smaller. And once they match up, just push them down, so they should match up pretty close. So again, you've just got kind of one fold, two folds, right? And that's your back. And once you have the two together, all you're doing is going inside here. So you got your body and your head, and you're just putting it in here. And if you're gluing it, this is where you would want to glue the two together. And you can angle it a bit if you want. So however much you want an angle, you can move your head, and then you can glue it. So that's where you get to play with it a little bit. And then you can do your little eyes, and if you want to draw a little mouth. So because I'm not going to take the time to glue it, I'm just going to do my little eye. And then I want a cute little mouth. There we go. So then I can take my glue, and I'll just glue a little bit on both sides of this, and it'll hold it all together, and then you have your little tiger. Alright, that's everything for this week. And look forward to seeing anybody online.